planets with you. Planet X Nbiru. Regardless of the specific type or content of the material being withheld, assuming a cover-up goes on long enough, sooner or later Murphy's Law kicks in. In other words, if something can go wrong, eventually it will go wrong. From personal experience, I've noticed seemingly whenever NBC in particular is involved, the chances of something going wrong raised by a factor of 10 because they are such boobs. Case in point, on around January 14th, 2014, KCRA Channel 3 Sacramento News was recording from their helicopter prior to going live for their morning show. That was when they spotted the enormous planet in the sky that did not belong there. The video that you'll see was taken from their own news helicopter, while recording footage of the planet taken live, which begins about 2 minutes into the video. The filming crew calls the station and not even the meteorologist has any explanation for what they are seeing. Watch the video to finally see what Uncle Sam has been trying so hard to cover up.
We're back.
Stargazing.
It is a celestial rock.
Awakening.
In space, if you will. Dirk, okay, Dirk, what is it? We're all like, it's a planet? Is the moon?
Actually,
what is it?
We've been searching, trying to find you in the newsroom because we know you
Ask
know.
Dirk, what is it?
Well, that's interesting. I mean, Is it the moon? I don't know. You'd have to back up. I'd have to be outside to really see, but that looks like a point of light. And if it's close to the sun, where the sun's coming up, then more than likely that's... I can't believe that we could see Venus that close.
But it is a planet, right? Because it's not twinkling, or is that a myth?
No, I would say that that's a planet, yeah, but
it's Saturn.
It's hard.
Okay, Tamara wants in on this one. She's been Googling.
No, that can't be Saturn unless there's an eclipse going on. No, because you don't see Saturn as with a chunk taken out of it.
Maybe that's the
you only see the moon that have a chunk like that, and the only other planet that I know of that you see a chunk taken out of it like that would be Venus. Because it's on the inside planet. Saturn and Jupiter, they're all outside planets from
and this,
Earth.
friends, is what it's like when you stop by the weather department and any moment.
Right.
These are the kinds of conversations that you will stumble into.
I need to go outside and see it so I
Let's
can be
just send
sure
you
what
up
I'm
in
looking
the
at.
chopper so you can investigate properly.
Oh, I'd love to. That would be
Agreed.
great.
Yeah, go up into the Case
Ship 'em
Area
up.
Observatory and get back to us. Thank you, Jerk.
All right.
Okay.
As awesome as it is to see Planet X or Nbiru, whichever you chose to call it, no one filming asked the obvious question. If government is concealing the information or they are downright lying about there being another planet, why are they lying about it? What do they know? Secret societies entrenched in the highest levels of government have swindled trillions in tax revenue from your hard-earned money to be used to build gigantic underground bunkers for their protection. Is a great place to start. And all of the articles below are also great resources to begin putting the pieces together. What has people so nervous about Planet X, Nbiru, Wormwood, or whatever you choose to call the planet? Is the fear of what the planet will bring with it. Our nemesis and Nbiru hiding behind the sun? With so many people wondering about other world affairs and not looking to the sky, could Planet X already be showing itself? In January 2015, an interview with Bob Fleischer predicted that martial law will be invoked in the U.S. within 6 months of the worldwide naked eye observations of objects in the Planet X system for the first time. Bob is one of the guests in part 3 above. In the video below, what has long been suspected should now serve as confirmation even to the most uninformed skeptics out there. The planet is precisely where it has been said to be. It has the reddish-colored cloud around it, which is said to be a cloud of dust, iron oxide red, making the rivers and lakes acquire a reddish color. To a simple guy like me, all the confirmation I need that Planet X, or Nbiru, is real, is the fact that previous efforts were taken to remove any evidence of the planet from Google Sky. Last I checked, you don't have to doctor footage of things are not there. Here are 20 other things you should know about Nbiru Planet X. Ancient Code reports Zechariah Sitchin described Nbiru according to Sumerian cosmology as the 12th planet. Nbiru is home to an alien race called the Anunnaki, an extreme advanced extraterrestrial civilization. Researchers have talked about the possibility of a giant planet that has an extreme strange orbit around our sun. In 2008, Japanese researchers announced that according to their calculations, there should be an undiscovered planet at a distance of about 100 astronomical units, that has a size of up to 2/3 of the planet Earth. These calculations support the hypothesis of the existence of Nbiru, or Planet X. Here we bring you this 20 things you should know about the mysterious planet Nbiru. 1. The name Nbiru originated from the ancient Sumerians, who once inhabited ancient Mesopotamia, modern-day Iraq. It is the 12th planet described by Zecharia Sitchin. 2. Nbiru is also called Marduk, and it arrives to our solar system with an extreme clockwise elliptical course. 3. According to several ancient texts from Mesopotamia, there is strong evidence that supports theories that Nbiru has an orbital period of 3,600 years. The number 3,600 was represented by the Sumerians as a large circle. 4. The expression for the planet, the Eshara, also means a perfect circle or full circle, and also represents the number 5. Ancient astronaut theorists believe that the convergence of the three concepts of a planet, orbit, and number 3,600 could not be a coincidence. 6. Strangely, the periods of the kingdom were also multiples of Shar, 3,600 years, leading to the speculation that the empire's shares were related to the orbital period of 3,600 years. 7. NASA had identified a planet with an anomalous orbit around our sun. They refer to it as Planet X. The Washington Post and other news agencies wrote about it in 1983 and the coming years. 8. According to the Washington Post, a heavenly body possibly as large as the giant planet Jupiter and possibly so close to Earth that it would be part of this solar system has been found in the direction of the constellation Orion by an orbiting telescope aboard the U.S. infrared astronomical satellite. All I can tell you is that we don't know what it is, said Jerry Neugebauer, chief fires scientist. 9. R. Harrington wrote a very interesting article in the Astronomical Journal in 1988. Harrington suggested that a planet 3 or 4 times the size of Earth existed, having a position of 3 or 4 times further from the Sun than Pluto. According to mathematical models that were presented, it is believed that Planet X, or Nbiru, has an extreme elliptical orbit of 30 degrees. 10. It is believed that the planet originated from the Orion constellation, passing near our planet and coming towards it from the Sun. After making its way by Earth, it heads towards outer space and disappears. 11. Mythologically speaking, it has the appearance of a fiery beast appearing in the sky as a second sun. 12. Nbiru is a magnetic planet, causing the Earth to tilt in space as it passes. 13. Nbiru is believed to have 4 times the diameter of Earth and is 23 times more massive, a truly gigantic planet. 14. According to ancient texts, Nbiru is wrapped in a cloud of dust, iron oxide red, making the rivers and lakes acquire a reddish color. 15. It is believed that it would cause days of obscurity while passing next to other planets, possibly even stopping their rotation during its transition across space due to its incredible magnetic properties. 16. Nbiru is also associated with great dangers. Some researchers believe if a planet like Nbiru would come close to Earth, it would cause large earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanic eruptions, creating an entirely new geography and climate. 17. It is called the Destroyer and the Cauldron, a parallel Bible located in the monastery of Glastonbury in Scotland. Men forget the days of the Destroyer. Only the wise know where it went. sequence and that it shall return at the appointed time. It is the destroyers, its color was bright and fierce and ever-changing, with an unstable appearance as fierce body of flames. 18. According to the U.S. News World Report, Planet X or Nbiru exists. The article, shrouded from the sun's light, mysteriously tugging at the orbits of Uranus and Neptune, is an unseen force that astronomers suspect may be Planet X's 10th resident of the Earth's celestial neighborhood. Last year, the infrared astronomical satellite, IRAS, circling in a polar orbit 560 miles from the Earth, detected heat from an object about 50 billion miles away that is now the subject of intense speculation. 19. According to an article published in Newsweek on July 13, 1987, NASA disclosed that there may be a 10th planet orbiting our Sun. According to NASA research scientist John Anderson, Planet X might actually be out there, but nowhere near our planets. The article from Newsweek states, see if he is right. Two of the most intriguing puzzles of space science might be solved. What caused mysterious irregularities in the orbits of Uranus and Neptune during the 19th century? And what killed off the dinosaurs 26 million years ago? 20. On October 23, 1996, an article from AP called "A New Rebel Planet Found Outside the Solar System" states the following. A new planet that breaks all the rules about how and where planets form has been identified in orbit of a twin star about 70 light years from Earth in a constellation commonly known as the Northern Cross. The new planet has a roller coaster-like orbit that swoops down close to its central star and then swings far out into frigid fringes, following a strange egg-shaped orbit that is unlike that of any other known.
The instant our perturber lands on the table, it begins skittering back and forth like a drunken sailor. Then it starts slamming into the other tops, knocking them out of their celestial sweet spots. In very little time, our table becomes a picture of chaos as tops fly off every edge. Now let's assume that our perturber, which wreaked havoc on our tabletop, and planet X are one and the same. If this is the case, it stands to reason that planet X has already perturbed our Sun, and most, if not all, of the other major planets in our solar system. To see if this is possible, let's briefly discuss a topic we're all familiar with: global warming. In 2001, I joined fellow researchers in the conclusion that global warming is real, and that it is primarily caused by solar activity. Human pollution, which is considerable, only plays an aggravating secondary role. When we released our findings, we were immediately ridiculed. I suppose this is why I'm so fond of John Couch Adams. Kept on doing his thing and was fortunate enough to see some of his theories become scientific fact. In the same vein, our 2001 global warming findings have been recently validated as well. According to scientists based at the Institute for Astronomy in Zurich, our Sun is more violent now than at any time in the last 1,000 years. Another study by Dutch meteorologists tells us that temperature increases of the last 60 years are the largest in this same period of time. Now here's the kicker. That was the good news. The bad news is that this trend will continue upward through the next 11-year solar maximum. According to NASA, the next solar maximum, which starts in 2007, will reach its peak in 2012. At that point, it is estimated to be half again worse than the last, and many feel that's a rather conservative estimate. Why is that? Prior to this last solar maximum, the highest catastrophic solar flare category was X. However, during this last solar maximum, a whole new catastrophic Y category had to be created. So let's now put this into a larger context. Up to now, we've looked at how the Sun has become more violent, and how this increased solar activity became the principal engine of global warming for the Earth. So does this also mean that the other planets in our solar system are evidencing similar surface perturbations? According to several prestigious observatories, this is exactly what's happening. For example, recent surface warming on Mars and Pluto was so severe that similar events on Earth would have caused an extinction level event. In fact, every planet in our system is evidencing some form of surface perturbation. These range from radical climate and weather changes to the new radio and X-ray emissions that are popping up everywhere. To put this in context, imagine that you're standing in the middle of a dark theater. At first, everything is cool and quiet. Then, without warning, a lighting technician begins switching on every bank of lights in the house. That, in a manner of speaking, is what our solar system is doing. Because it's showtime, folks. And at the top of the bill is none other than our grand old perturber, Planet X. Perhaps now would be a good time to take a closer look at what Planet X could be and what it could do to us. Earlier, we first imagined the ecliptic as a laser beam extending from the center of the sun out to the constellations of the zodiac. Along that beam, the planets of our solar system orbit our sun in the celestial sweet spot of the Kozai mechanism. With this orderly and predictable vision in mind, let's now investigate two rather interesting aspects of the precession of the equinoxes. In the everyday life sense, the precession of the equinoxes determines where we'll find the North Star at night, when to put snow tires on the car, and when to smear on the suntan lotion. For those of you who could remember watching Neil Armstrong set foot on the moon back in 1969, you might also remember the Age of Aquarius by the Fifth Dimension. It was a catchy, upbeat song that promised a more peaceful world in the coming Age of Aquarius. This will happen when the sun is directly in between the Earth and the constellation of Aquarius. And interestingly enough, it is also part of the precession of the equinoxes. So what does the Age of Aquarius have to do with Planet X? Plenty, as you'll soon see. But first, let's briefly revisit the idea that Planet X could be an unborn companion to our own sun, or what astronomers call a brown dwarf. What is the difference between a sun like our own and a brown dwarf? A brown dwarf is an unborn sun that lacks the mass necessary to sustain nuclear fusion. This is why a brown dwarf may be quite visible when it is young, but with age it will come to resemble a dusty bed of red-hot embers. Humankind has long believed that there is only one sun in our solar system. So what are the chances that we live in a binary solar system with two suns? Well, according to NASA, the chance of that happening is better than 80%. Ergo, to continue believing that we live in a solar system with only one sun, we must also view ourselves as the exception to the rule, and not the other way around. Okay, so what does all of this binary solar system stuff have to do with the precession of the equinoxes in the coming age of Aquarius? Well, here it is. The Earth is not moving forward through the zodiac into Aquarius, but rather we're sliding backwards into it. This is all fine and good, but what's really interesting is that we're sliding backwards into Aquarius at an ever-increasing speed. This curious fact explains why astronomers and astrologers must use something called precession compensation to factor in this ever-changing difference. It also begs two very obvious questions. Given that astronomers recently demoted Pluto to a minor planet, is it wise of us to blindly cling to the old belief that we only have one sun? And if so, what could possibly be causing our planet to move backwards through the zodiac at an ever-increasing speed? Before you paint these questions as being trivial, please consider the following experiment. If you want to boil a frog alive without him noticing it, start by putting him in a pot of cold water. Then very slowly heat the water to a boil. If you do it right, The frog will keep adjusting to the water temperature increases until it is literally cooked in its own juices. Likewise, could the same be happening to us? Ask yourself, are we oblivious to the possible danger of Planet X because it is happening slowly enough for us to keep adjusting to it? Perhaps this is why humanity has always held a deep respect for prophecy and folklore. Not because they are scientifically precise, but rather because they offer us harbinger signs of future dangers. This is why prophecy and folklore are so vital to human survival. They tell us when to jump out of the pot so that we're not boiled alive by our own comfort mechanisms. With regard to Planet X, the prophecies of the Colburn Bible, Nostradamus, Mother Shipton, and the Mayans are all giving us the same warning. Get out of the pot. With that in mind, let's take a closer look at those warnings.